Cook.
And I'm Lori Suggs.
And we want to remind you just why we have chosen to do this vlog. We want to empower you to have the education and knowledge that you might need in choosing your treatments, your services, and products.
You know, and I think the other reason that we're doing this, Robin, is just to empower women to feel good about themselves and the choices they make, whether it is about doing cosmetic procedures or hair extensions or whatever we talk about. It's about making those choices and not feeling guilty about it. You know, not all women want to do fillers or lasers or hair extensions or perms or whatever, or color their hair. They like to go natural gray. So it's what we're going to talk about in this vlog is just be yourself and feel good about who you are.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about natural extensions or hair pieces, wigs, to make you look natural. And Lori, I know you're going to talk about natural fillers.
We are. We're going to talk about how you can do fillers that make you look healthy and make you look more alive and awake and less sad, but natural, and they're beautiful. So that's what we're going to talk about
You know,
today.
I always think when I first started doing, when I was 50, I first started doing, it was a while ago, but that's when I decided I was going to start, you know, really embracing doing fillers and Botox. People would ask me, why do you do this? And I'm like, well, because I don't look as tired as I feel.
In the very beginning, say 15, 20 years ago, when we did fillers, we just filled in the parentheses lines. But it gave you a real weird, it gave you a real weird look. And I think beginner filler.
Thank you very much. So I looked weird.
Well, I think we all did. That's what we did. That's all we knew.
We all looked weird.
Yeah, but you know, I think as time goes on,
That's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Okay, wait.
But you know, I think that's like the early wigs. You know,
well,
I mean, they've come a long way.
They've come
a
long way.
Yeah. So you know, I think now, if we educate people about what really fillers do and how you choose the right ones and choose the right injectors, fillers can be beautiful and they can actually give you that youthful look back and not look fake.
Absolutely, and I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love it.
Same thing with hair extensions.
Exactly.
You know, everybody that I look at on TV commercials, these sitcoms, and all these fabulous.
When you see all this fabulous hair, you go, wait a minute. There's something
award shows and
there's something going on.
Completely.
So you know, with extensions, there are several different types. So the most current kind of fad right now in extensions is hand tied.
Okay.
So Ashley is our technician who does hand-tied extensions, excuse me.
So when you say hand-tied,
yes.
You know, years and years ago, I did have hair extensions, but we did them with some kind of heat wheel.
So with hand-tied extensions, and hopefully we can show you some video clip of that, there's a process of going around the head with the bead. Okay. So there's the beaded hair extension as well, which is a little bead that you clamp in. So it's almost like a braid.
Okay.
You go around your natural hair is put into this braid per se.
Okay.
And then the hair extension is sewn onto that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you create length or volume.
You know, there's so many people who have hair extensions now, and they're not even really all of this long, beautiful. I see women that have thinning hair that have hair extensions, and I'm amazed at what they look like before, and then they have this clipped in or sewn in, or
you know what the most interesting thing is the hair piece or the topper.
Okay.
There's wigs and there's hair pieces.
Okay.
So the most popular thing right now is that hair piece.
Okay.
And it's more of a topper because we find that women who are losing their hair as they age, they're losing it in that horseshoe area on the top.
Crown?
Yes, in the crown, or that from the parietal ridge like back into the crown. So by using
how do you attach that?
They're so easy because you can do synthetic or you can do
natural
human hair.
Okay. That's
so we suggest synthetic because it's easier
to take care of.
It's easier to take care of.
Oh, okay.
You simply wash it. You kind of shake it out, put it back on a little wig stand, and it will dry back into form. So that's what synthetic.
You think I could get me a hair piece?
You don't need one, darling.
I know, I've got enough hair for 20 people.
Me too.
I have plenty of hair. But gosh, wouldn't that be easy? It's shake it
but
off
it does.
and put it on.
You put it on and it's like, okay, I've got a full head of hair. Yeah. So they're the most popular right now is these top pieces, which we look for like a natural blend with those.
Okay.
It's unbelievable what it can do for someone who's losing their hair.
Hair is so important
Oh my
to the look
goodness.
of someone or how confident somebody feels.
You know, we
and so, you know,
talked-
I can't imagine losing my hair.
No.
So that is something that, you know, I've never really thought about this topic.
Yeah, but
gosh,
it's huge.
it is huge. I
It
can
is
imagine.
huge. I know we talked earlier about volume and faces and how all this works together, and I'm fascinated
You know,
by the concept.
I do think there's a need for education, probably across the United States, but I will say especially here in Texoma, there are some really, really bad fillers walking around. And I truly don't think people even realize how displaced they are or how bad they are. And it's amazing to me that they don't, but I think it is a lack of education on the part of the injector. As we age, we lose volume and structure in our face, in our neck, and our chest, our hands and earlobes, I mean everywhere, and it's a fact. And so as we want to replace that volume and structure, you know, at Cosmetic Laser Center, we've been doing this now 20 something years and do thousands of syringes a year and offer I think 12 different volume enhancing
That's
fillers.
amazing.
Yeah, and so we do have an entire arsenal. And so as with anything else that you're trying to build a structure, if you're building a house, it takes the foundation and the 2x4s and the, you know,
Yes.
the sheetrock and everything else. And the same thing I think goes with fillers, is that it's not a one product fits all. So at the Cosmetic Laser Center, we do offer a vast array, and we do customize that per the patient. And you know, I don't think that always just filling in volume is a one product. Sometimes you have to build it like a scaffold. You have to layer it in there so that you know, where there's missing collagen or elastin or the structure or the muscle fibers have changed and we've lost this volume, we can go back and restructure that. And that's what, or where you get this natural look. Sometimes if you overfill, you get an unnatural look, or if you use the wrong product in the wrong place, you can get an unnatural look. It's very, very important to choose an injector that has an eye for the aesthetic of it. There is a ratio for the beautiful features of a woman or a man, and
I think that is the most interesting thing. I think I saw like a reel
Mm-hmm.
that was, you know, showing the most beautiful man or the sexiest man or something.
Yeah.
And it was all based on proportion.
and ratios. Yeah,
And ratios
Yeah.
of, you know, where they sat in this ideal look. And the most balanced or the most proportioned
is the most natural.
is the one that was like the most beautiful.
It's so true. And so when you come into the Cosmetic Laser Center, it's not a one size fits all. We actually do measure and do markings on the face so that we can take you back to a natural proportion, because natural is really the most beautiful. You know, if you take somebody and go back and look at their photographs in their 20s and 30s, they probably most likely had high cheekbones and more of a, you know, defined jawline.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is very easy to put that structure back, but it's not a one size fits all. There is some formulation to it. There's a combination of fillers that go into that, and it may not all be in one session. It may be we build on to that to give somebody back that fountain of youth or that structure back to their
So
face.
it's the fillers that you use, and then does Botox play a part in that, or because I know that's like a common name, and I know we've talked
and
about
people
it
get
before.
these confused a lot. So Botox, Dysport, Xeomin, any of those actually are neuromodulators, and they block the acetylcholine or block the chemical that causes the muscle to contract. That's all they do.
Okay.
And so when you don't get the acetylcholine firing, then you don't get the contraction of the muscle. Therefore, you don't get the wrinkle, if that makes
Okay,
sense. Okay,
got it.
Fillers, completely a different bird. Completely different bird.
Because I know that people talk about, oh, I'm going to go get some Botox, and they're really maybe talking about
filler.
fillers.
And people all the time quote those things. I need some Botox in my lips. You know, Botox actually is not a filler. It does not enhance or replace lost volume. Okay, it just
So a filler replaces lost volume.
Yeah.
And you've got to build it structurally.
That's right. So
Kinda
let's
like
talk
from
about
the
the
ground
lips.
up.
So, you know, if somebody brings us, and this probably happens to you too, if somebody brings us a photograph and they have these little tiny, beautiful little tiny lips, and they go, we want Angelina Jolie lips.
Oh.
It's not possible. It's structurally not, don't we all? But it's not possible. So, you know, we educate people as to what that structure would look like or why those lips are not possible. But we can certainly give somebody the best lips for the shape of their natural lips so that they have a natural outcome. Now, there are people that will take a very thin lip and make it unnatural looking, and maybe there are some people that like that. That's typically not what we do. We take somebody and take their natural beauty and enhance it. Or
I think that's
I
perfect.
know, yeah. Well, and as we age, we lose our lips. They sometimes recede.
Oh, I know.
And so we just try to put them back.
That's what I was
naturally.
thinking, like, you know, because I've had lips done, and I love it.
Yeah. So
You
my
know,
lips are done too.
It's
and
like,
it's not
I
like
think it's
overdone.
like perfect.
Right. But they are done to go back 10 or 15 years. It's
Right.
not to make them
Right.
look like Angelina
Because I think I
Jolie.
almost
Yeah.
fainted one day when I was at a makeup counter in some place somewhere in the United States, and somebody says to me, "Oh, your lips are so thin," and I'm like, "They weren't before.
I know. Well, it happens.
They weren't."
I know. So, you know, I think in another vlog we've talked about the triangle of youth, which
Yes.
is, you know, like the volume is up here and it goes down to your chin, and as we age it changes because
Right.
the structure, if you will, the muscle and the fat actually falls, and so you've seen people that have this jowling effect. So it's an inverted triangle. So that's what we try to do is take and
Reverse it.
reverse it.
And the same thing when we are working in hair, we try to reverse that as well, so that we create that width
Okay.
at the eye area, and then it becomes more narrow here, so it does create that lift. That's what I'm always trying to do whenever I'm working with someone, is put the balance and proportion in the right shape place,
Sure.
you know, in the right shape, you know.
I think that's sort of the parallel about what our two businesses do, is there is so much artistry in this. And I think that there are so many people that have gotten into the business, and there's a lot of really, really good injectors, lots and lots of really good technicians or stylists. But there's a lot that aren't so good. And I hate to say that, but it's true. And I think that as consumers, sometimes we just trust whoever we're with, and we just let them work on us, and we don't even realize it's not right. Fillers are not for everybody. You know, there are people that say, "Oh, I would never do that." That's okay. That's okay.
The same with hair extensions or hair pieces or wigs. You know, some women prefer, like, you know what, I'm just going to embrace what I've got. Others are like, I want to have something more.
You know, I think there are times when people say, well, you know, at what point do I start getting Botox? Or at what point do I start getting fillers or lasers? And I will always tell you, the earlier you can get a little bit along, the more natural it'll always be. If you wait until you're in your, say, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever,
50.
and boom, go in there and get a facelift. There's a dramatic change. Or go in there and boom, get all this filler. There is a dramatic change. But if you'll do a little bit along, it's just such a natural.
I know, you used to tell me that when I was in my 40s. You'd be like, "Oh, just now, just because we've known each other that long, you would tell me, oh, in my 40s, if you just start now."
A little bit.
And I was just not ready. Personally, I wasn't ready. It took me to hit 50 where I was like, okay, I'm ready.
What happens in your 50s?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it went really fast. From 50 to the other one, you know, that 10-year span, I keep looking back on, I'm like, wow.
Girl,
that was a fast 10
I'm going
years.
to tell you, you look pretty good, Robin.
Good.
I think you look pretty good.
Good.
I'm Lori Suggs.
And I'm Robin Cook. If you have questions about today's topic, please leave a message or comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and be sure that you click our link below and join or subscribe to our channel. And we'll be back next week with more Mirror Mirror.
You know, I have to say this, my little grandson, he's done all kinds of like videos.
Okay.
And when he was younger, it wasn't subscribe, it was ascribe.
Ascribe.
Please ascribe.
Please subscribe. So please subscribe
We
to
want
our
to hear
video.
from you.
Yeah, we do want to hear from you.